Doctor, why don't you understand what I am saying? I am unable to sleep at night.
Good. So who is he? Who is blowing Miss Eva's senses these days?
Doc, I am in no mood to joke.
Then I will have to be serious. Tell me, what is happening with you?
You know, I am writing a book on a haunted place in North Carolina.
So this is the problem.
No, the problem is that by writing about it, I become a part of it.
I did not get it.
I get caught up in the reality of that story.
How is this possible?
It's possible, Doc. When I started writing this book, exactly 3 months ago, behind the haunting apartments in North Carolina. Because at that place, even today, people hear the lustful voice of a woman, which suddenly turns into a scream. And immediately after that, the sound of 2 men screaming one after the other. And then, an endless silence, in which I don't know how I got trapped. Everything around me turned into spinning darkness. My condition became such that I was swinging in a space filled with endless darkness. My eyes closed. And when I woke up with a loud scream, I was standing outside the apartments, whose detailing was exactly the same as I had read while researching the story. The same old building, with wooden doors and silk curtains hanging from the windows. Romantic tunes were coming out from the ground floor, and the sound of someone laughing was also heard from inside. I slowly went towards its window and peeped to see what was going on inside. I saw a couple inside, holding glasses of wine in their hands, very close to each other, looking into the eyes, and dancing with slow steps to the tune, as if their entire world had collapsed into each other.
Not even a week has passed, and I feel like I've known you for years. Monica, I can't tell you how happy I am to marry you.
Having said this, the man was about to kiss her lips, when the woman, whom he was calling Monica, deliberately dropped the wine glass from her hand on the floor.
Oh, this glass. Wait.
Leave it. It is time for the train. You will be late.
Looking at her lovingly, he kisses her forehead and leaves from there. But it seemed as if his love had no effect on her. It was as if she was just waiting for him to leave. The man leaves for his night duty at the station. But shortly after he leaves, another young and strong boy reaches inside that house. I again started looking inside their house from outside the window. The woman, who till now was sad to see her husband, now had a unique glow on her face. As soon as she saw the young boy, she hugged him.
Oh, my love. It has only been a few days since I met you, but it feels like I have known you for years.
One was infidelity, and on top of that, she was reciting her own husband's dialogues to woo her boyfriend. That means there is a limit to shamelessness. After this, both of them crossed such limits of intimacy that even I looked away, and my eyes went straight to her husband, who was returning from his workplace to his apartment. But how is he returning so soon? What will happen to his heart if he sees his wife with someone else like this? Thinking this, I blocked his path. Where are you going?
My home, dear. By the way, who are you? Never seen you in this area before.
So see where you are running.
Sorry, I am not that kind of person. My wife is alone at home, and I am going to surprise her after reaching home soon.
Seeing his innocence, my heart was filled, and I left his path. Let him see the truth of his wife, so that unfaithful woman cannot take further advantage of his innocence. He went inside the house, but this time, I did not go to the window. What do I get from seeing someone else's heart broken? As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran near the window. I saw a young boy without clothes. He was lying on the ground, soaked in blood. Monica was scared and half naked, clinging to the wall. Her husband was standing in front of her, holding a pistol in his hand, and every pore of his being was questioning him.
Why?
But as if there was no possibility of getting answers to those questions from Monica. So he pressed the trigger, and Monica fell there. Now killing both of them, the person came towards the window, towards me, with moist eyes. He put a gun to his head and shot himself, and my face turned red with his blood, and my eyes closed. When I opened my eyes, I was back on my bed.
Meaning, this was your dream?
No, everything was normal when I woke up in bed, but my face was stained with blood.
But how is this possible?
This is what I cannot understand. Whatever I saw above was absolutely true. Because after that incident, whoever comes to that apartment feels that someone is roaming around them at night. Some woman is screaming, and who knows what else, which makes it the most haunted place in North Carolina.
The matter seems very serious. Is this an isolated incident, or something else has also happened to you?
A lot has happened, Doc. The incident in the Xavier apartment was not the only incident that happened to me. Something similar happened with me also, when I was writing about the haunted place of West Virginia. Hearing the name, West Virginia, you must have understood that I am talking about Lunatic Asylum. The same story of Lunatic Asylum being haunted is on the lips of every person. It is said that people hesitate to pass by there, even during the day, because several times a woman in red clothes has been seen wandering in the ruined building. Many people have also claimed that, in the darkness of the night, a woman in red clothes keeps wandering on the rooftop of the building of Lunatic Asylum. But to be honest, I did not find it to be a haunted place, because that night, when I was doing research, I came to know that there is no ghost here, but this place is a den of gamblers and a hiding place for illegals. Many school children come here so that they can consume drugs in the wilderness without being noticed. I didn't want to include such a place in my book. That's why I thought of removing Lunatic Asylum from the list. After that, I went straight to the silence of Lunatic Asylum. In the middle of the night, and at the same time, slow flickering rays of light collided with each other, due to which The cry of the sad walls of the lunatic asylum block is sometimes visible and sometimes hidden. I was not able to understand what to do. Then from somewhere, I heard the sound of a vehicle, which was coming towards this building. So I hid inside the building. I peeked outside before the vehicle arrived. A man came in front of vehicle, swinging a stick. A vehicle resembling a kidnapping van stopped with heavy brakes, and a man opened the door and came out. The man with a stick in his hand hit the torch on his face and asked, while swinging the stick,
"Who are you? And what are you doing here?"
In response, the man took out a pistol from his waist and pointed it in front of him while holding it on his finger.
Recognized it.
Okay, is that so? Put the gun inside you and quietly pay the tax here. Then do whatever you want and go on your way before dawn.
Hearing this, the man smiles and turns the pistol around and puts it in his waist. And while moving forward, hand over the money to him. And he leaves the path of the car. After that, the vehicle moved a little further inside. And apart from the driver, 3 more people came out of which 2 people behind were forcefully dragging a girl whose mouth and hands were tied. Under the influence of alcohol, those brutes scratched the girl. I couldn't help her, even if I wanted to. I just kept hiding in a corner, hiding my eyes from them. And after some time, her scream also got lost somewhere in the silence of the lunatic asylum. Those attackers sprinkled liquor on the dead girl and set her on fire and walked away from there. I tried a lot, but could not save her from the fire. I was shocked to see her turning into ashes in front of my eyes. And I sat there on my knees. My eyes were moist, and I was going to take a look at her smoldering remains. Then someone placed a hand on my shoulder from behind, and a shiver ran through my entire body. I didn't have the courage to look back to see who was holding my shoulder with his palm. However, it was clear that, if it was the hand of the same brute who had burned that girl, so my grave will also be dug here. Somehow, I shook my hand from my shoulder and turned back. But there was complete darkness in front of me. There was no one, far and wide. Not a single person. There was some numb silence. But if there was no one, then whose hand it was? Thinking this, my throat started getting dry with fear. When I looked outside, there was no one there. Not just outside, but in this entire place, in Lunatic Asylum. So I thought of leaving from there. But where would I go? I was trapped in an illusion, where I have neither came of my own will, nor can I go of my own free will. However, now I was not having any difficulty in understanding that Lunatic Asylum is truly haunted. And the reason behind this was the painful death of the people here. After which, now their souls wander here. Before I could think anything else here, screams started from everywhere. Out of fear, I closed my eyes and ears. And when I opened my eyes, the scary face of a woman was right in front of my eyes. As soon as I touched it with fear, it vanished like smoke. And in those ruins of lunatic asylum, I started seeing many people with whom something bad had happened here. In one corner, there was the soul of a small child, and in another corner, there was an old soul. And they all were looking at me, as if I had done some harm to them. It was fine till I looked, but now they started moving towards me like a zombie. Seeing him coming closer, my heartbeat started increasing. I could neither go forward nor backward because they were moving towards me from all sides. And one of the children came running towards me and jumped on me. I fell on the ground on my back, and he was sitting on top of me and staring at me. Within no time, the nails on the fingers of both his hands started growing, and he attacked me. Before her nails could pull my skin, we both automatically moved away from each other in opposite directions. I only got a small scratch on my face, but I crawled into the darkness and then back to my room, where it all started.
So this wound on your face came from there.
Yes, Doc, I know. You might be thinking all this is a lie, but
No, Eva, I don't think like that. There is a lot more in this world beyond science that we should believe in.
so what should I do?
Finish your story, then meet me. Because you are not the only one with whom this is happening.
And with whom is this happening?
With me.
After all, what is happening with the doctor? Does he also get trapped in the illusion of ghosts, like me? Or is there some other story of Doc? We will know in the next chapter of Illusion.